Hello. Today, one of my favorite topics, dreams. So today we'll label it Dreams Your Magic Mirror. Dreams have played such a significant part in the life of scientists, philosophers, poets, politicians, musicians, and so many other professions. We all dream several times per evening, whether you recall them or not. Many individuals that I cross paths with remark that when they do recall their dreams, they seem to be silly or don't make much sense. I also have those type of dreams. All of us have this incredible aspect within us that provides a conduit to a much greater state of awareness. That's our dreams. When I met a Cherokee Indian in 1975, he shared with me that my future guidance would come through my dreams. Now, I was so excited to see what that might mean that I went 1 week without sleeping because I was so excited to get to sleep to dream that I couldn't sleep. Go figure this. Of course, that's me. After a week, I was so exhausted and I let go that I did remember a dream, but it wasn't very complimentary to my psyche. The dream had to do with actions I was involved with 3 years earlier during my sports activities, and it revolved around two of my teammates. In the dream, I heard the voice of one of my teammates while he was pointing to a picture book of animals, state that I was a particular animal that he was pointing to. This confused me because I believed I had a great relationship with not only that teammate, but all of my teammates. And none of them had ever explained or shared with me that there was any disharmony between us. I was 26 years old, and I decided to call this teammate whose voice I heard during the dream and ask him if anything was bothering him about me. He answers the phone, we made a little small talk, and he replied, no, nothing was bothering him. I asked again and again, until finally after the third time he said, what is your problem, Steve? Now I blurted out, I wanted to be a better person. And my friend then said, well, I do remember something. And it had to do how you treated one of our other teammates named Harold. Now my friend on the phone related that every time Harold would make a mistake during the games, I would look at him with disgust. And this affected him to the point that after the games, when he and Harold would go out and maybe have a pizza, Harold would be so unnerved because he couldn't win my approval. Now, my friend on the phone said, I thought you were a real hog. Now, that was the picture in the book, in my dream, that I heard his voice and he point to. I was shaken, I was overwhelmed, and I teared up. This was my dream in my house. After that experience, I recalled 4 and 5 dreams a night for months, pointing out various aspects of my personality, my likes, my dislikes, actions that I had taken during the day that were not of the highest and best. At times, I would actually be given an interpretation right after the dream and before I awoke. We all can do this. I didn't go to any book or interpretations. I received it. Then I began receiving telephone numbers in my dreams. I would wake up in the morning with a telephone number and then work up enough courage to call that number. A person answering the phone would be at some location where I would go and receive philosophic, spiritual, or scientific information that later I would gather and it would be contained in the World Research Foundation library. I also had a reoccurring dream where I was standing in a library with a line of people leading to a podium. Behind the podium stood a man in a long coat. And when I arrived before him looking up, he would say, "We would like you now to study X or Y," naming a person, a place, a technique that I had never been exposed to before. Through my dreams, I was provided guidance on spiritual healing, that I could do healing both in person and distant healing, and how I could affect aspects of our physical world through willpower thought. Now, I mentioned at the start of this video how individuals throughout time have had their life enhanced through dreams. Robert Louis Stevenson said, "I depend on the little people who work in the nocturnal theater of my mind whenever it is necessary to conceive of a new story. And for the little people, what shall I say? They are my little brownies, God bless them. They who do one half my work for me while I am fast asleep." The great philosopher Plutarch placed importance to the dreams and the regulation of his life and his conduct. Dreams governed his judgment and his philosophy. And according to this old sage, the dreams instructed and conveyed to him great guidance while his body was asleep. Gandhi had been eagerly seeking ways to free his people from colonial subjugation. After weeks of meditation, he had a dream which suggested that the people of India suspend their usual business activities for 24 hours and devote the time to fasting and prayer. And we all know how that worked out for the country of India. Several people who have received Nobel Prizes shared their work was enhanced through their dreams. And while they were sleeping, they got information that allowed them to complete their research. Now, perhaps some of you listening and seeing my video are thinking that these were famous people and they dreamed different than you. But perhaps they are well known and famous due to the fact that they paid attention to their dreams and acted upon their dreams. Now, many people have asked me about how they might recall their dreams. They claim they don't have dreams. We all dream. I suggest you keep a legal pad and pen next to your bed. This is letting your own dreamer know that you are serious about remembering and acting upon your dreams. When you wake up from a dream, you don't need to turn on a light, don't even open your eyes. Just use your hands to find the top of the pad and write lines while slowly raising up the pad. Now, I have shared in the past regarding my dream of walking along the ocean with other seekers of the world looking for spiritual truths. To our left was the ocean, and before us was a woman dressed in blue holding a microphone. She was partially obscured by a fog and cloud. Now, to her left and our right were horseshoe stands with some of the leading New Age teachers and writers sitting in the stands. From their bodies came the fog and clouds obscuring the woman in blue. As we got close enough, I noticed it was the goddess Sophia, the goddess of wisdom. I wondered if some of these well-meaning people were partially obscuring the truth. What are all of us seekers to do? Then a breeze blew from off the ocean, clearing the mist, the clouds, and the fog from Sophia. And I heard the following words: "All one needs on the pathway towards greater enlightenment is a beautiful heart, an open mind, and a humble spirit. Who knows what interesting, informative, and profound, earth-shaking information that you will receive and share with the world through your dreams. You may not have a Cherokee Indian alerting you to pay attention to your dreams. Perhaps it'll be a bald man who listens to rock and roll oldies from the 60s and 70s. Expect more from your dreams, and you will find that this conduit to higher guidance will assist you. Now, my guidance within my dreams tells me to share this with you and for you all to pay more attention to your own personal dream guidance. My family, you are a soul. You are power, you are light, and you are love. Until we meet again, blessings to you.